Hello friends, how are you? Hope you all are doing absolutely fine. So let us start our lecture. So, what will we study in this lecture? We will study marginal costing. So first let me tell you what is marginal costing and why we are studying marginal costing. So, if you may know, we have different kinds of products, and for making different kinds of products we have different kind of techniques. For making different kind of products we have different kinds of technique, like for manufacturing car, mobile, laptops, etc. So for making different kinds of products we need different kinds of technique. So in that case we study different kinds of costing technique. We study different kinds of cost we study different types of costing techniques. So the costing techniques, these are the costing techniques. So costing techniques is based on the type of your product. In simple terms, it means that what you are producing, what you are manufacturing. So as you may have already known that there are various kind of products, and for making that kind of product we need costing techniques. And why we need costing techniques? We need costing techniques to find the cost of the product, because if we add profit in this product, then we can calculate the selling price. And apart from that, if we know what is the cost of our product, we can. So what do you mean by optimization of cost? Optimization of cost means to reduce the cost. So why we want to reduce the cost? We want to reduce the cost to an optimum level, so as to compete with our competitors in the market. Okay. Okay. So what we have learned so far, we have learned that there are different kinds of product, and for finding the cost of that product we have different kind of techniques. And why we find this cost of the product? So that we can estimate or calculate the selling price, and if we know the cost of the product we can optimize the cost. So marginal costing is also a technique. Marginal costing is also technique to find out the cost, and to optimize it, and to optimize the cost. Remember one thing: cost can never be zero. If you're manufacturing, if you're giving some services, you're manufacturing any kind of goods, there will be some kind of cost can never be zero, but it can be optimized to a certain level, or let me say that at an optimum level, so that your cost will be zero, and cost will become zero when your wastage is zero. So so marginal costing is applicable. Marginal costing technique is applicable to certain kind of products, to certain kind of products. So marginal costing is applicable on certain kind of products. So you will ask us, what are the certain kind of products on which marginal costing is applicable? So let me tell you that marginal cost is applicable on that kind of products, where we can distinguish the total cost, between variable and fixed cost. So marginal costing will be applicable on that kind of products or that kind of industry where we can distinguish, we can bifurcate the total cost into the variable cost and into the fixed cost. So sir, what is variable cost and what is fixed cost? So let us understand with an example. Let us take an example. Suppose we have we want to our product, we want to manufacture, we want to manufacture what we are manufacturing shirts. So what is the raw material that you need to manufacture a shirt? So what type of questions you are asking? We need cloth, we need cloth. So how much cloth you need to create to manufacture a shirt? Sir, generally we need 2 meters. Generally we need 2 meters of cloth to create one shirt, to manufacture one shirt. So let me tell you the input and output ratio for creating, for manufacturing one shirt. For manufacturing one shirt, you need 2 meters of cloth. For manufacturing one shirt, we need 2 meters of cloth, right? Yes, sir. So for manufacturing one shirt, we need 2 meters of cloth. If I want to manufacture two shirts, then how much cloth we need? Sir, we need 4 meters. Simple. Okay, I have cloth now, and I will manufacture the shirt in my factory, and the rent of the factory is rupees 2 lakh per month, is rupees 2 lakh per month. So if I manufacture, if I want to manufacture 100 shirts, if I want to manufacturing if I want to manufacture 100 shirts, manufacturing one shirt we need 2 meters. So what is the cost of 1 meter of cloth? So 1 meter of cloth is, let's suppose, 100. Then what is the cost of 100? So how much cloth we need? Sir, we need for creating, for manufacturing 100 shirts, we need 200 meter of cloth, right? Okay. So the price of 200 meter will be 100 rupees per meter. That will be 20,000 rupees. Okay, that will be 20,000 rupees. So there are two costs. There are two costs. One is the cost of the cloth. One is the cost of the cloth, and the second cost will be the my factory rent. Second cost will be my factory rent. That is 2 lakh. That is 2 lakh per month. Now we, what we can do, we can distinguish the total cost. So what will be the total cost? The total cost will be, the cost of the cloth will be 20,000 plus the factory rent 2 lakh. So the total cost will be 2 lakh 20,000. The total cost will be 2 lakh and 20,000. And we can bifurcate this cost. We can bifurcate this cost into two costs. One will be variable and one will be fixed. So now we have to understand what is the variable cost and what is fixed cost. So let me tell you what is the variable cost. It's very simple. Variable cost means, variable cost means the cost which changes with the change in the level of out- output. So what is the variable cost? That means the cost which changes with the change in the level of output up to a certain level. Up to a certain level. Sir, please tell in detail. Okay, let me tell you in detail. So we have the we for manufacturing a shirt we require two cost. One will be the one is the cost of the shirt, and one is the cost of the factory. So if I want to produce one shirt, if I want to produce one shirt, then how much cloth is required? Sir, we need 2 meter. And if I want to make two shirts, then how much cloth we require? Sir, 4. So as you can see, if I need 10 shirts, then how much cloth will be required? Sir, 20 meters. So as you know, my production is increasing. I'm creating one shirt, then we I so if I produce more and more shirts, the cost I need more and if I produce more and more shirts, then I need more and more of the cloth, and the cost of my cloth will be rising as in the rise of the output, as in the rise of the output. In simple terms, it means when we produce more, the cost will be more. When we produce more, the cost will be more. And when we produce less, the cost will be less. And when we produce zero, the cost will be zero. So so what we can do, we can bifurcate the cost into two costs. One will be the variable cost and one will be the fixed cost. Variable cost is simple, means when we produce more, the cost will be more. And fixed cost means the cost that remains the same. The cost which remains the same, that remains the same for whatever is the level of output. In simple terms, if I produce one shirt, then how much rent I have to pay? So what you're talking, if you're producing one shirt, the landlord will ask you for 2 lakh. Whether you produce one shirt, whether you produce zero shirt, whether you produce 1 lakh shirts, the cost will remain the same. The fixed cost will remain the same. So for each and every product, or for that industries, we can where we can bifurcate the total cost into the fixed cost and the variable cost, the marginal costing technique will apply. So marginal costing technique is simple technique where when we produce a product, where we are able to bifurcate the product sorry we are able to bifurcate the cost into two costs. One will be the variable cost and one will be the fixed cost. So what is marginal costing? So what is the marginal costing, sir? Marginal costing is simple. Marginal costing simply means technique of costing, and applies, and where it applies to those products where we can distinguish the total cost, where we can distinguish or where we can bifurcate the total cost into fixed and variable cost. Simple. So what is the meaning of marginal? Marginal simple means variable. Marginal simple means variable. Like we have two types of cost, one is fixed cost and one is variable cost. The variable cost is also called as marginal cost. The variable cost is also called as marginal cost. So variable cost is also known as marginal cost. Simple. Okay, so let us understand from the text. So what we study in marginal costing? We will study marginal costing, meaning of marginal costing and marginal cost, meaning of marginal cost and marginal costing, characteristics of marginal costing, cost volume, profit analysis, and short-term decision and break-even analysis, margin of safety, angle of incidence, contribution ratio. Actually, this chapter is very easy. If you understand the basic concept of the marginal costing, then the formulas, the techniques we used in the questions are very easy. So what is marginal cost? Marginal cost is variable cost. Marginal cost is variable cost. Marginal cost means variable cost. So what is variable cost? So simply variable cost means the cost which changes with the level of output. So marginal cost, as understood in the economics, is incremental cost of production which arise due to one unit increase in the production quantity. As we understood, variable cost have direct relationship with the volume of output, and fixed cost remains constant irrespective of the volume of production. That we have in our example, what was the fixed cost? So fixed cost was the rent of the factory. Hence, marginal cost is measured by total variable cost attributable to one unit. For example, the total cost of producing 10 unit and 11 unit of a product is 10,000 and 10,500. So the marginal cost will be one unit, that is one unit extra from rupees, from 10 unit is 500. Marginal cost can precisely be the sum of prime cost and variable overheads. Let us understand it further, and let's take an example. It's saying RF Limited produces 10,000 units. How many units it's producing? So he's producing 10,000 units. 10,000 units. And of product Z, what we are producing? We are producing a product called Z or Z by incurring a total cost of 3,50,000. What is the total cost of manufacturing this product? So total cost of manufacturing Z is rupees 3,50,000. Okay. Breakup of cost are as follow. So 3,50,000. We have given the breakup of rupees 3,50,000. It's showing that direct material rupees 10 per unit, direct employee, that means labor cost, variable overheads. So what is variable overheads? We will study fixed overheads 1,50,000 up to a volume of 50,000. So we need to bifurcate the total cost. We have to find out the variable cost and the fixed cost. Will be the marginal, yeah, variable cost per unit and fixed cost. So let us create a performer rupees per unit. So what was the first cost? Sir, first cost is direct material. So direct material, you tell me, direct material is variable cost or direct material is fixed cost? Sir, direct material means the cost of the cloth that we have studied earlier. The cost of the cloth is the direct material. If we want to produce one shirt, then we need 2 meter of cloth, and if we want to produce two shirts, we need 4 meter of cloth, and if we don't want to produce any shirt, then we need zero cost because we don't purchase any cloth. So direct material will be your variable cost. Direct material will be your variable cost. So in our example, direct material is rupees 10 per unit. Rupees 10 per unit total cost, and the second column will be total cost. So direct material is rupees 10 per unit. And how many units we are producing? Sir, we are producing 10,000 units of Z. We are producing 10,000. So for 1 unit we need direct material of rupees 10. For 1 unit we need rupees 10. So for 10,000 units we need rupees 1 lakh. For 10,000 units we need rupees 1 lakh of direct material. That is given in the question. Second one is direct employee or labor cost. Direct employee, or we called it labor. So now you tell me, the labor cost is fixed or the labor cost is variable? So you tell me, the labor cost is fixed or the labor cost is variable? So let me tell you, it depends. It depends upon the nature of the labor. Generally labor are variable because when we hire the labor, we give them their share, or their salary. We give them their salary, which is based upon their production, let us take an example. This is Mr. A. This is our labor. And when we hire him, we told that you will get a salary, or you will get a wage rate of rupees 100 per piece of that you produce. So if he produce one piece, he will get rupees 100. If he produce two piece, he will get rupees 200. But if he don't produce any kind of piece or any kind of product that we want, then he will get zero. So this is also a variable cost, because when we increase our output, then the labor cost will also increase. And vice versa, if we reduce our output, then the labor cost will also get reduced, because the labor is also depend upon the production. So in our questions labor cost will always be in our questions the labor cost will always be variable cost, or we can say that it depends upon the production. So in the given question, the direct employee labor cost is rupees 8 per unit. Is rupees 8 per unit. And for producing 10,000 unit, and for producing 10,000 units, sir, it will cost you 80,000. Simple. If we want to produce 1 unit, then you have to give rupees 8 to the labor, and if you want him to produce 10,000 units,